ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs. The underwater toe is amazingly strong here. It pulls ferociously at Alexander's legs. Before Alexander can retreat, the current grabs his legs. The shifting sand vanishes from beneath his feet. Against his best efforts, he is dragged out to sea. The currents around the island pull Alexander under. As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow. Tickets only. Next. Nothing like getting swept off your feet.
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier. The powerful currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea.
Not a very good swimmer, are you? Help me! Sorry, I think not.
As his head submerges for the third time, Alexander finds himself pondering the wisdom of going out on a limb for a stranger. Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievably strong swimmer.
Fierce guards of the isle we be. Watch for a foreign man, said he, with ears and nose, tongue, hands, and eyes. Its nature cannot be disguised. If mad it be, then mad it dies. Old Tantro, smell your smell. Do that which you do so well. Alert, my brothers, as we feared, a man has landed here.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the stupendous nose.
My nose cannot be tricked that way. The smell of man still rules the day. A man so say our nose, into the waiting sea he goes. Listen, hark you, Groganor, do your duty as you swore. With your ears, please tell us more. My ears can't miss that strong heartbeat. A man it is, a man we greet.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the immense ears.
My ears can hear nothing so clear as the sound of a man standing here. A man, so say our ears. We shall send him to his beer. Taste the rump that we might know whether friend or whether foe. My tongue betrays this one so sly. A man it is, I tell no lie.
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and plays it for the gnome.
My tongue dislikes this sour thing, and the taste of man all over it clings. A man, so say our tongue. To the realm of the dead we send this one. Trilly dilly, use your hands. Is it beast or is it man?
My hands know what the rest do not. A man is standing on this spot.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the massive hands.
My hands cannot be led astray. A man is here, that's plain as day.
A man, so say our hands. We act at the Vizier's command. Oh, build better, never fatter. Vision can resolve this matter. Look you now and end this chatter. The senses, eyes are best. A man, I say, and hang the rest.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the enormous eyes.
My eyes cannot distracted be. A man I see, and so say me. A man, so say our eyes. A man he be, a man he dies.
The gnomes toss Alexander too far out into the sea for him to get his footing. The currents drag him under. Guess those gnomes couldn't reach a consensus. Alexander investigates the intricate spider's web in the corner. The spider who lives there is not amused. Alexander feels the tiny pinprick of the spider's bite and the slow burning of her poison.
Oh, so there you are, handsome. What can I do for you now?
Alexander reaches out to touch the Black Widow.
Ah, how sweet the matrimony. I knew you'd change your mind.
Alexander feels the sharp prick of the Black Widow's teeth. Then, a strange burning sensation.
Ah, a widow again. Oh, so there you are, handsome. What can I do for you now?
Alexander reaches out to grab the scrap of parchment.
After my goods, are you? What a greedy little man you are.
Alexander feels the sharp prick of the Black Widow's teeth. Then, a strange burning sensation.
That's what you get for preferring that old scrap of paper to me.
Tickets only. Next.
Why do you think they call her a widow? The swampy bog sinks beneath Alexander's weight. He feels himself being sucked slowly but firmly down into the muck. As the marshy water fills Alexander's mouth, he thinks that although he'd always wanted to try a mud bath, this is hardly what he had in mind.
Tickets only. Next.
Do you ever get that sinking feeling? Alexander decides to examine the vines on the wall more closely.
Come closer! We like you!
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm really not interested.
Don't leave us! We like you!
Tickets only. Next.
Just want to be loved by you. Alexander decides to brave the boiling pond. And soon realizes a deep sympathy for soup vegetables as he learns the true meaning of being in a stew.
Tickets only. Next.
It looks like Alexander's in a bit of a stew. As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any. He's just there to scare you. Gotcha this time.
Tickets only. Next.
That move was slightly erroneous. Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. Alexander gets the feeling that was the wrong button.
Oops!
Tickets only. Next.
What a riddle! Stones of stealth. Find a guide to keep your health.
Oops!
Alexander has plenty of time to rethink his logic as he falls past the riddles of the logic cliffs.
Tickets only. Next.
That wasn't a very logical step.
Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man? The winged ones who live on this island have the power of flight. You could have it too, if you'd only eat a berry from this magical flying nightshade bush. See? The sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some.
All right, I'll try some of your berries.
goody. Eat quickly, dear boy, and I'll show you the way to the Lord and Lady of this isle.
What?
Slightly bitter, pretty one.
Alexander decides to try some of the black berries on the plant. A bitter taste fills his mouth. His stomach convulses in pain. As the poison takes effect, Alexander is left wondering if this is the kind of flying the old lady meant.
Tickets only. Next.
And then there's some land I have for sale in the death bogs of Tamir. As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Ah, you were a human only and not the monster himself. I heard you coming and thought you were the beast. Did my father send you here to save me?
Why, yes, he did, but how did you...
Hush, there is no time. I think I have discovered the Minotaur's secret exit from the Catacombs. Follow me and we'll both be saved.
That's odd. Where did she... Go!
Tickets only. Next.
Don't just wander, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide. Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh.
Tickets only. Next.
3 spikes and you're out. It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down. Desperate to stop the crushing ceiling, Alexander throws a skull into the grinding gears. The skull is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The skull begins to bulge.
Uh-oh!
With a sudden lurch, the ceiling completes its descent
Yikes!
and presses Alexander into the floor like a bug under a heel. That skull wasn't strong enough to endure the pressure, and neither is Alexander's.
Tickets only. Next.
Alexander never was much good at squash. Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face. Alexander hears the scrabble of hooves in the dark room.
Hello?
Tickets only. Next.
Caught in the dark, Alexander? Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again, this time so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. Too bad Alexander has no way to see what's on the other side of that wall. The sounds shift direction and become louder to the south. The sounds get louder still, now coming from the west.
Uh-oh. Intruder. Good. Just in time for dinner.
Let's not be hasty now.
Oof! Tickets only. Next.
Caught in a blind alley. If only Alexander could have seen what was coming.
Now you die. Tickets only. Next.
There's something to be said for taking the bull by the horns, Alexander. Alexander, apparently confused by being in the deserted Minotaur's lair, missteps into the fiery pit.
Oh, hot!
Tickets only. Next.
From the frying pan into the fire. Alexander feels a strange sensation come over him. His skin begins to itch. His head throbs. Was that the beast you could do? Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient Druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage. And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. Mercifully, Alexander passes out from the heat before the first tongues of flame ignite the wicker. Feeling hot and sweaty? Try a shower. Uh-oh. One of the wandering ghouls brushes up against Alexander. The touch of the putrid flesh dissolves the living matter like acid.
Tickets only. Next.
Alexander's mother always told him to avoid bad ghouls. Alexander slips off the path and plunges into the river Styx. As soon as the water touches his skin, Alexander's mind and body go numb. He sinks like a lifeless stone.
Tickets only. Next.
Hey, what a fix. Bathing in the river Styx. Alexander slips off the banks and plunges into the river Styx. As the black water comes into contact with his skin, Alexander feels himself going numb from the legs up. He sinks like a stone.
Tickets only. Next.
Hey, what a fix. Bathing in the river Styx. Uh-oh. Charon appears to be readying the boat to leave.
Wait! I must get across the river.
Apparently, Charon doesn't intend to let travelers without fare loiter on the shores of his river.
Tickets only. Next.
Hey, that's not fair. Alexander walks too close to the menacing gate.
Tickets only. Next.
It must have been love at first bite. My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
I don't know the answer.
Ah, don't sound so disappointed. I will make it quick. Perhaps. Yum. Tickets only. Next.
Riddle fiddle, what to do? Somewhere sticky, there's a clue. As though sensing Alexander's desire to touch him, the Lord of the Dead reaches out his hand. As the Lord of the Dead's hand touches his shoulder, Alexander's mind fades to blackness.
The will to live is strong, is it not? Never mind. I will reach out to you.
The Lord of the Dead's touch fills Alexander instantly with a numbing cold and blackness.
like your life has just run out, man of flesh. You have failed the challenge, and now you must pay the price of your arrogance.
The Lord of the Dead's touch fills Alexander instantly with a numbing cold and blackness. Alexander opens the dungeon door and slips inside.
Mother? Mother, where are you?
Mother! Mother! Where are you?
Alexander stands by helplessly as the ghost's wails grow louder.
Psst. Little boy, be quiet.
Ghost's wailing has attracted the guards. Alexander hears the sound of footsteps in the hall.
I tell you, I heard something and I'm checking it out. You and your ghost. There's nothing in there, I say.
Hi.
I don't believe this. It's an intruder and he's already put himself in the dungeon. Bones. Some humans can really be dumb. Well, shut the door then. Let's lock him in and go tell the Vizier. Right. Thanks for saving us some work, human. Let's post extra guards, though. That wailing made me nervous. Right. We'll get Scratch to guard the hall and watch the door. He's not afraid of no ghosts.
Just as Alexander realizes that he has no possible means of escape, he hears the sound of wedding music playing somewhere in the castle.
Confound this dungeon! I'll never be able to stop the wedding now.
Alexander hears the clear sound of guard dog voices coming from behind the door. He decides opening the door wouldn't be wise. Against his better judgment, Alexander decides to open the door. Somehow, he just knew that wasn't such a good idea.
And where might you think you're going? You'll stay in here until we find out what the Vizier wants to do with you.
The guard dogs leave Alexander to his fate, locking the door noisily behind them. Alexander unlocks the door with his skeleton key and quickly makes his escape. Alexander decides to find out what's on the other side of that door.
I've seen you around the village. What are you doing in my room?
Wrong room. Sorry.
Not as sorry as you're gonna be. Guards! Guards!
What is it, Jolo?
This man is an intruder. He's probably here to harm the princess.
Don't worry, we'll take care of him. The Vizier will have our heads if he finds out that prisoner escaped. How do you suppose he did it, Ralph? Well, Hal, I figure he must have had something on him that he used to open the door. That's why I personally searched him. You did? What'd you find? Only this funny-looking key. He ain't got it no more, though, now does he? Ha ha! Good work, Ralph.
Just Just as Alexander realizes that he has no possible means of escape, he hears the sound of wedding music playing somewhere in the castle.
Confound this dungeon! I'll never be able to stop the wedding now.
Alexander's walked right into a couple of guard dogs.
Look, an early guest. Are you on the bride or the groom's side? That's the foreigner the Vizier warned us about. Grab him! Hey, who the...
Hello there.
Don't just stand there. Grab him, Bay! I'll bet it's that saboteur fellow the Vizier warned us about. I say we run him through right here and now. No, woof. The Vizier will run you through if he doesn't get a chance at the prisoner. Let's put him in the dungeon for safekeeping, then we'll go tell the captain. Aye, Wolf, you're right. Let's go. Look, Wolf, there's a man back here.
Hello there. Nice painting.
Get him, Bay.
Alexander checks behind the portrait. The sound of footsteps grows louder as the guards in the main hallway turn and head back towards the stairs. Here they come again.
Hey, look, Wolf. The king and queen's portrait fell down.
Sorry. I was just looking at it.
Get him, Bay.
Uh-oh. So this is where they took the mechanical nightingale.
Look, on the stairs. It's Prince Alexander of Daventry. Guards, get that man. You were told to stay away from the castle and leave the items. Why did you break into the castle? And how did you get past my guard dogs at the gate?
Well, I was worried about Cosima and...
Bah, never mind. Your presence here has been forbidden. I'm afraid I'm going to have you thrown in the dungeon. I'll figure out how you got in later. Guards!
You'll stay in here until we find out what the Vizier wants to do with you.
The guard dogs leave Alexander to his fate, locking the door noisily behind them. The sound of running footsteps echoes outside Alexander's cell.
What are you doing down here, shrew? We've already got him locked up. Go back to your post upstairs. The Vizier wanted to know what all the commotion was about, and I told him about the intruder. He told me to post extra guards on this one. Extra guards, huh? So be it.
Just as Alexander realizes that he has no possible means of escape, he hears the sound of wedding music playing somewhere in the castle.
Confound this dungeon! I'll never be able to stop the wedding now.
Prince Alexander, here. The Vizier will have my head for allowing you within a mile of the royal wedding. Since you are of noble birth, I will give you 5 seconds to explain your presence here before killing you. I warn you, it had better be good. You give me no excuse to save your life, Prince Alexander. You were told to stay away from the castle, but you chose not to listen. I have no choice but to obey the Vizier.
But Saladin...
Tickets only. Next.
Evidently, Saladin is a dog to be reckoned with.
If you refuse to defend yourself, you must have faked the letter. Since you cannot prove your point, I shall prove mine. Tickets only. Next.
She loves me. She loves me not.
I have this lamp, Princess.
That lamp! How did you get it? Wait a minute, that's not... Oh, never mind. Kill him, Saladin.
I have this lamp, Alhazred.
How did you get that, you thief?
Never mind, Alhazred. That lamp means nothing. It is a fake.
Blast it! Kill the devil quick, before I do it myself!
Perhaps the princess would care for some delicious peppermint leaves.
Mint?
Cosima!
Princess?
Kill him!
As you wish. Tickets only. Next.
She loves me. She loves me not. Shamir, the Vizier's genie, begins to throw balls of dazzling light at the guard dogs. The genie, finding a free moment in the battle, suddenly realizes that Alexander is still in the room and sends a dazzle spell his way.
Gotcha, Prince Alexander!
Tickets only. Next.
Genie, meeny, miny, mo. Alexander can't be slow.
I'm afraid there's not much more to see in the throne room. There'll be more fireworks out here.
Wait! Shamir,
Changed your mind about chasing my master, eh? Good idea. You never would have won anyway, and it's so much easier just to kill you here.
Wait! Shamir,
Tickets only. Next.
Genie, meeny, miny, mo. Alexander can't be slow.
Alexander, be careful! Alhazred has a sword!
Shut up, wench! Shamir Shamazel! Get in here! Here I am, master! It's about time, you bumbling fool! How could you let him follow me? Well, there were the guard dogs, master, and then... Never mind! Just kill him! Kill him now! As you wish, master.
Razzle, dazzle, snap and snazzle! Send a ball of light to frazzle!
The dazzle ball hits Alexander.
Alexander! No!
Tickets only. Next.
Genie, meeny, miny, mo. Alexander can't be slow.
You killed my genie. You idiot! Don't you know how valuable he was, you fool? I'll kill you myself for that outrage.
So shall it be, Alhazred. I'm ready.
Alexander, no!
Tickets only. Next.
Touché. Alexander should have been on guard. Alexander's arms start to tremble under the effort of wielding the huge sword. His muscles are nearing exhaustion.
Ha! And so it ends.
The Vizier takes advantage of Alexander's exhaustion. He thrusts his sword deep into Alexander's chest.
Cosima! Forgive me.
Alexander, no!
Too bad Cosima's all tied up at the moment.
Ha! And so it ends.
Not if I can help it, you murderer!
Cosima thrusts the small dagger into Alhazred's shoulder with all her might.
Ah! You dare raise a finger to me? You will regret that, princess. But I forget. I stalk a kitten and turn my back to a lion. It wouldn't do to let you gather your strength again, my prince.
Alhazred finishes off Alexander with one swipe of his sword.
Forgive me, Cosima.
Alexander, no!
Tickets only. Next.
Touché. Alexander should have been on guard.